Chapter 8, Power Prospecting, Household Prospecting. Household prospecting is a technique that is extremely powerful when used correctly. It can also be detrimental if used incorrectly. The most important part of this technique is the transition. You cannot go from "thank you for your business" to "how many drivers, how many vehicles, who's next?" The conversation must flow in a natural manner. When asking for a profile of the household, the benefit must be seen as the customer's benefit, not yours. Salesperson, sales, business. Did we show you where our development service department is located? Customer, yes. Sales/BDR. Great, if you need any help in this area, do not hesitate to call me. By the way, how many other vehicles are in your household? Now that you are one of our preferred customers, we would love to look after your family as well. Customer, we have two others. Sales/BDR. Oh, really? Continue with the prospecting the household technique. Step 6 in the 12 steps to a quality conversation. As you can see from this example, our prospecting techniques must seem to be incidental responses and not premeditated. If the customer believes the only reason for our call is to prospect for additional business, then the call becomes negative. From then on, the customer will be reluctant to take future follow-up calls. On the other hand, if the technique is performed correctly, our prospecting will be seen as trying to offer additional services, and the customer will see this as a positive. Referrals. Be conversational, be casual. There are two types of questions that need to be asked. The first is a setup question. The second question is a simpler way of asking the same thing, known as the payoff question. The payoff question results in a referral 25% of the time. If by the second question no referral is provided, it's time to bail out. Finish the call with one final statement. That's okay. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is taking care of you. Before you go, could I ask you a small favor? Something we are very proud of here at Dealership Name is that we get most of our business from repeat customers and referrals. From folks just like you. Who do you know? Maybe a friend, relative, neighbor, someone from work, or perhaps someone you've recently talked to, who one of these days might be thinking about a new or used vehicle. Referrals. Note, if the customer gives you a blunt no response, do not follow up the first referral request. Make sure you finish the call in a positive manner. But if the customer sounds as if they would like to help you, ask the following. I know that was a tough question. I'm sure you didn't get up this morning thinking about who you knew that was getting a new car. Let me ask you an easier question. Voice inflection is very important here. Of all the people who you do know, who would most likely be in the market next? What makes you say them? Have they been talking about doing something one of these days? Give them enough time to think about it. Do not interrupt them while they're thinking. Asking for a referral is an activity. Getting a referral is a result. Do not focus on the result. The key to success in anything is to focus your energy on the activity. Most sales consultants are uncomfortable with asking for a referral, but 25% of people who are asked for a referral will give you at least one. How would you know which people would give you a referral if your discomfort keeps you from even trying? Challenge yourself to become confident enough to ask for referrals at each opportunity, and you will be a success. The real difference lies in the way you ask the question. To be effective, you must be prepared to ask for referrals in a way that sounds as if you don't ask all the time. It must be perceived as an incidental response, rather than a premeditated action. Smart registration cards for dealership promotions. Whenever you have a dealership promotion of any kind, like a tie-in to a sporting event or a celebrity coming into your showroom, make sure to have a complete prospecting card for people to fill in. This could be a part of a contest or a giveaway. Whatever the case, you'll want to get the key information we've talked about in household prospecting, including names, who's most likely to be in the market. Daytime and evening phone numbers next. Email addresses. What will they be looking for? How many drivers in the household? Will they be looking in how many vehicles in the household? 0 to 6, 6 to 12, or over 12 months. Worst case scenario is they don't fill it in, but you'll be surprised with how many people will complete it, giving you the right prospect in the household and the right information too. With this form, you're getting pre-qualified information that makes the call more intelligent and makes you all the more prepared to turn calls into sales. Now take advantage of the chance to maximize this opportunity. Ask for referrals. At the bottom of the card, you'll want to add something like this: "Thank you for participating in our event." We do get a lot of business from repeats and referrals from people just like you. Who do you know? Maybe a friend, relative, neighbor, someone you work with, who one of these days might be thinking about a new or used car, truck, or van. Leave room for 3 names and numbers. Be sure to use a format similar to the delivery referral form, page 285. Tip number 2. Close it all with, "Again, we thank you for your participation." Work the body shop. Work with not only your body shop, but other body shops around town as well. Get to know the owner and the foreman. Take them pizza and sodas once in a while, and start getting the names and numbers of customers who are likely purchasers in the near future. This could focus on people whose cars are damaged beyond repair. All you have to do is ask effectively with those prospecting questions we've been talking about. Revise them a little for this situation. Who do you know? A friend, relative, neighbor, one of your customers here? Remember, do this for your body shop and the other body shops nearby as well. Work the insurance agency's deal with the owner of the insurance company as well as the agents. Introduce yourself and tell them you can help each other by sending each other business. If they send you business from time to time, personally drop off a dozen golf balls to the owner or a gift card. Sell yourself and your dealership by telling them you can offer one-stop shopping for vehicle replacement. Tell them if they have customers who have totaled a car and need to replace it, you have buyers who can go out and locate a replacement within 24 to 48 hours. Position yourself as being able to save them a lot of time by doing the legwork and going out to find vehicles for them. Now, this is assuming you have a pretty aggressive used car manager who will go the extra mile by going to the auctions to pick up vehicles for customers. Women's Clinic. I've seen this event work very well for some of our customers, sometimes given as often as once a month. Note that this is targeted at women only and works best when presented by women. The information should deal with issues of importance to women drivers, like preventative maintenance, tips on servicing the vehicle, what to do when you're stranded on the road. This must be done in a professional and non-condescending way. Picking the right person to handle this for you is critical. A female salesperson from your dealership would be ideal. Preferably select someone knowledgeable on the subject matter, that is, a smooth presenter and who's good on her feet. Make sure to promote the event well in advance and have plenty of refreshments on hand. Prizes and discount certificates could be given away. Most of these can come from other sponsors, like your aftermarket suppliers, cellular phones, rust-proofing companies, or extended warranty suppliers. Your prospecting opportunities come in after the event when you follow up on the phone. In this case, you're calling the customers back to conduct a mini survey. How did you like the clinic? What was your favorite part? Did you get a lot out of it? Were there any questions you had that weren't answered there? And yes, follow through by household prospecting and asking for referrals. New owner clinic, again, I've seen this one work very well, held as often as once a month. You simply invite all the people who have purchased a car from your dealership the previous month, plus those from the month before who couldn't make it to the last one. Hold it during the beginning of the month so you're able to follow up on that previous month's customers. Go over everything about the warranty very thoroughly. You know, oftentimes people taking delivery are caught up in the emotion of the moment and other details, and they don't listen as well or retain what they need to know about the warranty. Here's a great opportunity to review that information with them. It's also a good forum for introducing key people and departments that they may not have been completely familiarized with during the delivery. Saturday Car Wash. This is great not only for prospecting new business, but also for building goodwill in your dealership and community. Pick a nonprofit group that kids are involved in. This would preferably be some kids associated with your dealership, like sons and daughters of employees. The groups could include sports teams, cheerleaders, or church groups, to name a few. Give them water buckets, soap, and space at the dealership. Promote it with minimal expense, maybe one newspaper ad. Give all one proceeds to the group. As I said, it builds both goodwill and traffic at your dealership. Have some kind of giveaway that people register for. Use that household prospecting and referral smart card that keep calling about as a registration form. The giveaway should be something of minimal cost to you. I recommend a gift certificate to a local store or mall. You can usually get these at a discount if you buy a number of them, and if the store is getting some kind of name display or promotion. Speaking of car washes, if your dealership has a car wash, offer a free or discounted price on weekdays to draw more traffic. Bicycle safety and ID clinic. Stage a workshop or clinic on bicycle safety that is geared specifically for kids. Have the local police there presenting the information. This gives the whole event extra credibility and a real civic feel. Plus, it makes people feel more comfortable about it. Have local police officiate the event. Everyone's less suspect of the whole thing, as some kind of come on. The key is to have some kind of refreshments, maybe hot dogs, chips, and soda. And have some important reasons for registering all of the parents. Again, maybe a giveaway. A good idea would be to buy a boys' and a girls' bike. Include in your promotion of the event information about a drawing in which 2 winners will walk away with a brand new bicycle. Who knows? You may even get a bike shop to participate financially in exchange for some name mentions and publicity. I've even heard of a representative from the bike shop doing a presentation along with the police officer, telling the group some added facts about bicycle safety and doing a plug for the store. You're almost sure to get financial participation in this case. Kids Safety Clinic. This is the same concept as the bicycle safety clinic, but here the emphasis is on all-around safety, such as protecting kids from crime, safety when being approached by strangers, common community safety practices, like crossing the street. You can also set up a free ID session as part of this event. Only in this case, it will be fingerprinting the kids for police safety records. This has become a procedure a lot of public safety departments are pushing due to the unfortunate increase in child abduction. Don't forget that with events like the bicycle and the kids' safety clinics, you can get plenty of free exposure from your local newspapers, radio, and TV stations. They're generally glad to air announcements about these kinds of things. This good exposure community further helps you in getting that showroom traffic and building that good community citizen image. Who do you know? Pins wear this pin on your lapel, and I guarantee you'll get plenty of questions about it. People do read lapel pins. What does "who do you know" mean? Well, believe IT or not, they've just paved the way for you to develop an opportunity. Your answer might be, well, I'm in the business of helping people with the purchase of a new or used car, truck, or van. I'm sure the last thing you thought about when you got up this morning was going out to purchase some type of vehicle for yourself or a family member. But who knows? Maybe someday you will be, and maybe someday I could help. Give them a moment to process the information. They'll usually make the next move with a question or two. If they don't, then slowly get back into it by asking, "So, what do you drive?" Continue by prospecting the household and asking for referrals. Hand them a business card. Better yet, hand them 2. One they keep for reference, and the other one to write down their name, address, phone number, and email address so you can follow through. Delivery Referral Form Instructions. Part 1. And this is a great one that requires a very specific procedure, so I'm going to spend a good deal of time on this one. People are willing to fill out quite a bit of paperwork when they take delivery of a vehicle, and here's where adding just one more form could add a few more sales. The record for the greatest success with this technique was a salesperson from South Carolina who had an average of about 10 to 12 units a month before being introduced to this approach in one of our workshops. After utilizing the delivery referral form, this person delivered 20 units in 1 month from this one technique and ended up with an additional 16 units for a dealership record of 36. Good job, Robert. Using this technique should average you a minimum of 1 good referral for each vehicle you deliver. It's fun and will provide you with consistent results. For best results, have the 2-part delivery referral form, already included in the deal jacket. Customers will view it as important and necessary paperwork. For easy monitoring, leave 1 copy in the deal jacket for manager spot check, while the sales consultant keeps the other copy for immediate follow-up. It is important that the business manager or any other manager approving paperwork ensures that it is done at delivery and not the following week. Now let me show you the form and how to use it effectively. Do not shortcut the following 5 steps. Delivery referral form instruction. Use the delivery referral form. Write the first names of the customers and then your name along with it on top. Keep it personal. The delivery referral form should be out of sight, out of mind. If they see their names, they would only be distracted by it and try to guess what it is. If you deliver your own deals, present the delivery referral form at a time when you must leave the room for a short while. For example, checking with the business office to see if everything is in order. This allows the customer proper time to think of potential customers. What to say and how you say it is important. We suggest the following. Bill, Mary, could you do me a small favor? All of my customers always do this one thing for me before they leave. Then present sheet. What I need is 3 prospects. Low key, no pressure. They don't have to be hot prospects. Just the best 3 you can think of. Maybe relative, neighbor, someone at work, or someone who knows you're buying a friend this car today. Who one of these days might be thinking about a new or used car, truck, or van themselves. Delivery referral form instructions. Part 3. Steer the paper and pen to the most cooperative of the two. Offer to get another cup of coffee, etc. Now they can't say no immediately. They have to think and are more likely to respond positively. Give them plenty of time. Take your time. I'll be a few minutes. And then get up and leave. As you return, pick up the paper and check to see if you need further information, such as the work number, last name, address, etc. When asking for additional information, it is wise to ask, what made you think of name? This gives you added information to help consult and determine needs. To ensure your customers that their satisfaction is always a #1 priority, the following statement could be very beneficial. As a professional sales consultant, I always appreciate any help I can get from my customers. However, the most important thing is keeping you happy with your new. I will be getting back to you in a few days to see if there are any questions I could answer you. Pause. Who knows, maybe you'll even think of someone then. This is an excellent setup for the 3-day follow-up call. Prospect parking lots. Believe me, it's not as bad as it sounds. I'm not asking you to stalk anybody. But when you're out and about, at a mall or any parking lot, and you see someone approaching their car, it wouldn't be unprofessional to say, "Hi, I'm Tom Stuker from ABC Motors. I'm sure the last thing you thought about when you woke up this morning was to sell or trade your vehicle. But someday it's likely to happen. And when it does, I think you'd be surprised at how much our dealership would be willing to pay for your vehicle." You'd be surprised how positive these conversations usually turn out. Keep in mind to ask about how many drivers, how many vehicles, who's next, and referrals. And if you see a vehicle on its own in the lot, that's something your used car department might be interested in. Take your business card and write the exact script we just discussed on the back of your card and put it on the windshield. Dealership promotion, advertising in a church, let-in or social club activities. Cost-effective and a tax deduction to boot. Make sure you have your picture in there. A lot of bulletin advertisers don't do this, but I've heard it said that if yours is the only picture in a bulletin, you'll be the first ad they look at. They'll recognize you in church, and they'll be more prone to talk to you about the ad. Dealership outerwear and accessories. Hats, jackets, sweatshirts, t-shirts, sports bags, you name it. These can serve as an excellent walking billboard for your name and image. Now don't just put ABC Motors on the items. Add the phrase sales department, so people recognize you as somebody they can approach with questions regarding sales. Many dealerships will require salespeople to wear badges identifying them with both their name and the dealership's. Especially if you live in a warmer climate, there's a great opportunity to wear this ID in public places, announcing who you are and what you do to nearly everyone you come in contact with. Remember, in addition to your name, it should also say sales department. It's a tax deduction and will sell vehicles. Wear it. Sports team sponsorship. Baseball teams and bowling teams are the most common of these. But I'm not just talking about paying for the uniforms or helping out with equipment. Get involved. Get out there to the games or the tournaments. Show up and be a part of it all. Sit in the stands with the parents, cheer the team on, bring a big cooler dispenser of lemonade or other refreshments. Make sure the cooler has your dealership's name on it. The sponsorship can be entirely by the dealership or cooperatively with other parties. The point is, make sure you take advantage of this opportunity beyond just having the name of your store in front of them. You should be in front of them too, and it wouldn't hurt to wear that dealership jacket/shirt with sales department. You drive your own car or a spouse's car, not a dealership car. Craigslist is a great, and did I mention free, marketing tool that is very effective. The free ads are especially successful if it's a commonly sought-after vehicle. Look at it this way. The responses will be additional phone-ups that you created for free. It's not a trick or a come-on. Hey, if they offer you enough, sell it and make some money. If they don't, you can introduce them to other like models you have at the dealership. If they end up not interested in it, let them know you can help them find something else. Tell them the reason you're selling it is that with all the great deals going on now at your dealership, you want to update what you're driving. Maybe you can get them thinking about going with a newer model. You win both ways. Either you sell your car for profit or you introduce them to something available at your dealership. In addition to, or instead of, the classified ad, a for sale sign can accomplish the same end. You'll probably want to put for sale must sell and your phone number. That must sell alludes to the notion of getting a really great deal. Oil change/car wash email. Dealers spend thousands of dollars to get traffic into the showroom. Here's a simple way to do it with postcards or email. Obviously, this is more cost-effective when done by email, but some markets prefer a tangible mail piece. It all depends on your budget and what gets you the most results for the least amount of money. Preferred market, past customers, prospects you have been keeping in touch with, a geographical area, your own competitor's backyard. This approach works best with a call in advance, letting them know you're going to send this. Send what? An email offering a deep discount on an oil change. I'd even recommend a ridiculously low amount that you might lose a little money on. Just get them in the door. You may lose a little on the oil change, but I'm telling you, you're saving big money on getting those customers to come in. Give it an expiration date and offer it on one of the slower days in your service department, if there is such a thing. Maybe a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday gives you more time with the service writer instead of a rushed Monday or Friday. You can even charge the regular rate at the service drive, but require this customer to take the coupon into the sales department for a manager's authorization on the discount. It may be as simple as saying, Mr. Customer, this is a special promotion being used by the sales department, and we'd just appreciate you getting the initials of one of our sales managers. Now, when that customer comes in for the initials, it's time for the manager to ask all the right prospecting questions we've talked about. How many drivers? How many vehicles? Of all the drivers, who's the most likely to be in the market next? Ask for referrals. You know the rest. Hey, what a great way to get an eyeball opportunity for sales management for just a couple bucks a piece. All on a slower day when the service and sales departments are traditionally a little lighter and have the time to spend. And if it works for an oil change, wouldn't a car wash work just as well? The 3-day visit. If time allows, pay your customer a visit instead of a phone call 3 days after delivery. The prospecting and follow-up conversation can basically be the same, but with a visit, you can take personalization to the next level. Maybe it's delivering that extra set of keys or the license plate they needed. You could bring them that additional paperwork they needed to fill out instead of mailing it. Personally delivering some kind of thank you for the business gift, flowers, golf balls, etc., provides the opportunity for some incidental contact. Your customer might share the experience with coworkers, friends, or neighbors, all of whom see that you went out of your way to personally deliver these items. Now they're saying to themselves, wow, my salesperson never did that. Thank you gifts. A lot of dealerships send out gifts to customers shortly after the purchase. Flowers, cookies, balloons. Not a bad idea, right? Here are some pointers to make the gifts, not just a thank you item, but a prospecting tool as well. Make sure whatever you're sending is always delivered to the person's office, not their home. Why? Because when the gift goes to their home, the only people there to see the delivery might be a babysitter and a 4-year-old. At an office, you're going to have other people witnessing the delivery. Your customer will spend the day explaining to coworkers where this gift came from and why. Make sure the gift is wrapped and attach balloons to it. Balloons call attention to a package. This prompts people to come over to look and ask questions like, who sent this? If you have the time, deliver it yourself. You can turn this into an immediate prospecting opportunity. Ask those prospecting questions and get referrals. Your new car showing. It's always great when you can get financial participation in this from your dealership. When that's not the case, you may want to team up with 2 or 3 other aggressive salespeople to spread the cost around. Whatever the case, the concept is simple. 1. Sometime during the introduction of new models, plan a private, invitation-only new car showing on your own property. 2. Get a number of new vehicles from the store and maybe a few really clean used ones and have them spread around your property or a rented location, attractively displayed. 3. Get some outdoor grilling equipment and cook hamburgers and hot dogs. Have plenty of liquid refreshments. Bring in some clowns and maybe a pony for the kids. Make sure you've got a good supply of brochures on hand for the vehicles you're displaying. While most states will not let you actually sell vehicles on off-site property, you can have a display. It can be a relaxing, non-threatening, non-selling environment that customers will enjoy being in. I had a number of these events when I was selling, and I'll tell you the traffic I experienced in the weeks following was pretty brisk, mostly from visitors and referrals produced by the event. The key to success with this one is to plan it carefully, well in advance, and send attractively printed invitations to your customers, giving the fun and refreshments a really strong plug. Especially the fact that it will be great for the whole family. Make phone calls to your invited guests, telling them you'd love to see them there. Have them bring the kids and let them know how much fun it's going to be. Keep all of these social contacts. Make the follow-ups personal. You're just calling to invite them to a fun, relaxing event. It's a fun, effective, and inexpensive way of building rapport and relationship door to prospecting for new business. Customer Appreciation Day. The Customer Appreciation Day is very similar to the new car showing. In fact, most of the components are identical. It's essentially the same event, only without the car display. There's virtually no selling atmosphere, just fun. But this could be done at a different time, summer or spring. It all depends on what climate you're in. And if you do have a new car showing at another time, you might also do this one. But space it out by several months, or maybe even a 6-month period. You'll get more mileage out of it this way, because those who weren't able to attend might be more likely to make it to the other. Both of these functions, the new car display and the Customer Appreciation Day, achieve the same very important objectives. They build stronger rapport and better relationships with your customers. They set you apart in your customers' minds as someone who goes the extra mile, someone who truly appreciates the business they bring, and someone who makes not only the buying experience, but also the ownership experience more fun and enjoyable. And most importantly, they establish you as not just a salesperson, but as a friend, making them that much more likely to choose you above someone else and recommend you to other people. It's relationship selling, and it's what the pros do. Grab numbers. This is especially good for those of you selling light-duty trucks to commercial customers. Always keep a small notepad and a pen or pencil handy when you're out and about. Then, keep an eye out for company vehicles that display the name and number of their firm on the door or somewhere on the exterior. You get a lot of God prospecting information just by observing. You get the name and number of the company, what business they're involved in, type of vehicles they use, makes and models, age and condition of the vehicles, and so on. Give the company a call. Find out who the fleet manager is or who makes the decisions on their vehicles and ask, "I saw your vehicles on the road. Where do you have them serviced? How many vehicles do you have in your company?" The next time you consider a vehicle, will it be the addition of one or will you be replacing one? Notice I'm not using a yes/no question like, "Are you going to replace any of your vehicles?" Use questions that are more likely to get a positive response. You can even move on from here to household prospecting. If you're in a situation where the vehicle is parked, get out and talk to the driver. Ask the driver, how many vehicles does the company have? Who makes the decisions on purchasing? Who do they usually do business with? What do you like about the vehicle? What don't you like about it? Get the inside scoop from the driver. This way, when you call the company, it's not as much of a cold call. I had the pleasure of talking with one of your drivers. Coffee and donuts. If you want to sell a lot of trucks, this is a great idea that we've seen work phenomenally well. You will need magnetic signs that'll stick to the sides of a vehicle, and a shiny new truck. The sign says, "Free coffee and donuts. Compliments of Tom Stuker and ABC Motors." Take this truck to construction sites and other places where truck sale prospects might be, like state fairs, monster truck pulls, or rodeos. You could even work something out with one of the big do-it-yourself stores. Make sure to get permission from all the appropriate authorities when you do this. And make sure you're not causing problems for any food vendors or catering trucks whose territory this may be. Let them know you're not there to sell coffee or put anyone out of the convenience food business. You're there to sell trucks. With the free coffee and donuts calling out from that back tailgate and all the visitors and friendly conversation they bring, you'd be surprised how many times the conversation will turn to, "So how much would this model cost?" At that point, it's as simple as asking a few soft sell qualifying questions. Have them write their name and number on the back of your business card, and yes, ask for referrals too. Obviously, you could use the same concept with sport utility prospects in places like marinas, public golf courses, etc. Trust me, the coffee and donuts technique really works. It can be a slam dunk for you too. Rental list. A lot of dealerships have small rental departments within their dealerships. There are a lot of different reasons people use rental cars at a dealership. Maybe their vehicle is in the body shop for an extended period of time. Maybe they need a second vehicle in the household temporarily while they shop for one to replace the car they just sold. There are a lot of different reasons. With a rental list, start out asking some PR questions about this person's rental experience. Was the rental to your satisfaction? We're not big like Avis or Hertz, but we're growing and trying to be competitive. You've seen our rates are competitive, but we're looking to improve our services. And I'd like to get some information from you that might help us. From here, it's as simple as having a form that gathers the same information we talked about on the smart card. Prospect the household and don't forget to ask for referrals. Quarterly e-newsletter. It's a great way of keeping in touch with customers and prospecting for new business. It's also a pretty simple proposition. You can do this in one of three ways. 1. A newsletter that's yours alone. 2. One that you do in conjunction with another salesperson or a group of salespeople. 3. Or the most cost-effective method, a quarterly newsletter produced by your dealership and customized for every salesperson. This gives the impression that the newsletter is coming from you personally, that it's your communication with your customer. I'd stay away from the weak institutional format that doesn't create any action. Not those newsletters with that nondescript feel-good copy that talks about how wonderful we are, how wonderful our cars are, what's happening in the industry, and so on. You want a results-oriented newsletter, something that motivates people to action, creates excitement, and gives them something to look for. I like the USA Today format that organizes useful, regularly appearing sections in the same place each issue, so people know what to look for and where. Quarterly e-newsletter. Consider starting with an explosive cover page to get their attention. Possibly announce a big sale or special lease rate deal. You'll also want a letter from your dealer or general manager. Maybe thank the customers for making this another record quarter. Possibly include a description of that exciting new addition to the facility or updates in the service department. The point here is to always make you and your dealership come off as winners. Fill the newsletter with all kinds of used car pictures and descriptions, and always have a featured new car with a corresponding lease or finance special. Include some helpful hint sections with tips on service, seasonal things like suggestions for winterizing your car, and the like. Always include a service special. I recommend a printable coupon with something like an oil change, tune-up special, or maybe a free car wash. Use the exact same concepts with the ad I laid out for you in the oil change email. Get them in for a low price. Mandate that the customer to have the coupon/offer validated by a sales manager. Blood drive. Here's a short and simple one. People will always feel good about participating and helping out in the community. Organizing a blood drive with a credible organization, such as the Red Cross, will get you free publicity and lots of new prospecting opportunities. It will typically require some type of registration from all participants, another chance to use your smart card. Communities are always in short supply of blood, so this is a positive civic-minded event. Working the service drive. I like to call this area the back showroom, especially on Mondays and Fridays when it's the busiest. Rotate assignments of different salespeople to help on the service drive. Not as service writers, not as parking lot attendants, but as representatives of the dealership from the sales department. As a salesperson, you want to help greet customers. Give each one an immediate acknowledgement and let them know you're a salesperson. offer a cup of coffee, apologize for any delays, and ask them if they need a ride to work/home. There should always be someone available to provide transportation. After all, how busy can the sales department be at 7:30 in the morning? If it's another salesperson's customer, let him or her take over after the greeting. Prospecting the customer lounge. A great place for salespeople to visit throughout the day is your own customer lounge. Pour coffee, offer rides back to work, and offer candy balloons to kids, with permission from parents. Take this opportunity to hand the customer a dealership survey to fill out. It should contain questions geared for advertising sources, such as the following. To help reach our audience more effectively, what radio stations do you listen to? What newspapers do you like to read? When were you last in for service? Where else do you go? Why? Add household prospecting to the end of the survey. How many drivers, vehicles, etc. Who's in the market next? And ask for referrals. You might want to consider having a monthly drawing for completed surveys or a contest among salespeople for the number of surveys completed. Car Smarts, meeting in local business community. The purchase of a vehicle is the second biggest transaction most people get into, next to buying a home. Many local companies will be receptive to a Car Smarts meeting, especially those involved in selling larger ticket products or services, such as real estate offices, insurance offices, furniture and appliance stores, etc. Keep your meeting presentation down to 20 to 25 minutes long. Bring coffee and donuts. They are always appreciated. Presentation to high schools. Find an insurance agent, bring your F&L manager, and the three of you make a presentation that is well prepared on getting insured. Having a panel of 3 different people that can field and respond to questions will keep this from looking like a sales pitch. Present topics such as getting the best rates on car insurance, if I have an accident, driving more vehicle for less, buying a good used vehicle, professional networking. Aside from the internet, there are many social professional networking groups. You can call your local Chamber of Commerce office for contact information. Getting together with successful salespeople from other types of businesses in your area allows you to share ideas on selling and dealing with customers, as well as a chance to share contacts with each other. Arrange a monthly breakfast or lunch with other professionals, having each contribute selling tips and techniques they use in their field. All of these people also drive something. So, why not turn them into customers and have them buy from you? Don't forget, always ask for referrals while you're out socializing. Bus trips to special events. Organizing trips to sporting events, the circus, family outings, etc., can be an extremely effective way of building and maintaining great customer relationships. Advertise the event in your quarterly newsletter. There's nothing like an attention-getting article announcing the great time that's ahead for anyone who wants to participate. Include pictures and customer quotes about how fun the last outing was. The cost factor is fairly low. You pay for the bus, and your customer pays for the face value ticket. For savings, team up with another salesperson or get the dealership involved. That way, you can get 3 or 4 buses going. Make sure you get a banner for the bus with your dealership's name and the title of the trip or event. Believe me, it's a great draw for your customers because who wants to drive to a game and deal with traffic and parking? I cannot begin to tell you how well this worked for me, plus the resulting sales. I've got to tell you, this is the kind of thing that helps build a family of customers with whom you have camaraderie, not just a group of customer acquaintances you do business with. Have fun with it. Maybe include some kind of prize giveaway to help draw more people in. Remember, you're building new business opportunities, retaining current ones, and it's all a write-off. Auto shows. Auto shows are a great place to prospect, but you have to learn to communicate quickly and effectively with as many people as you can. You want to acknowledge as many people as possible when they come into your area. And once again, the smart card registration is a great idea here. You need to get right into asking those qualifying questions as soon as possible. Are you currently driving one of our vehicles? Great. How many drivers? How many vehicles? Who's next? To list a few. When it comes to referrals, you can go for these at the end of the conversation. Listen, if there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to give me a call. In the meantime, can I ask you for a small favor? I get a lot of my business from repeats and referrals, from people just like you. And get right into the steps we've covered before about asking for referrals. The qualifying questions keep you from spending too much time with the wrong person. You don't want to spend half your time talking to someone whose daughter is looking for an entry-level vehicle in 6 months when there might be someone else's daughter in the market right now, just a few steps away from you. With the number of opportunities you have coming at you during an auto show, you have to know how to qualify quickly. So prospect them, how many drivers, how many vehicles, who's next, and determine the prospect. Hire your own assistant. Hiring your own assistant could mean hiring a part-time person working just for you or someone shared with another salesperson. If you're selling 16 or 18 units a month, you can probably go to your dealer and say, listen, I know Amrach could up my productivity and what I'm bringing into the store if I could just delegate some of my workload. The fact is, there are really three major tasks required to be as productive as possible. 1. Being face-to-face with a customer. 2. Following up with someone you have had a face-to-face opportunity with. 3. Developing additional opportunities for face-to-face contact. Following up with your owner base is probably the best task you can delegate to a secretary or assistant. Not necessarily to do all of it, but at least some of it. Take a small amount of time to train someone in handling this responsibility on the phone. The best solution for this would be our Guaranteed Phone Success course. An extra plus from having your own personal assistant is that people are impressed by that. Hello, Mrs. Jones. This is Claire. I'm Tom Stuker's personal assistant. In a customer's mind, that says you're successful, a winner. As you know, Tom is one of our top salespeople here at ABC Motors. The reason I'm calling is he wants to make sure your ownership experience is going well and to find out if there's anything you need. Once we establish that the call is to the customer's benefit and find out if we can answer any questions, then comes the follow-up with our household prospecting questions. How many drivers? How many vehicles? Who's next? And so on, as well as asking for referrals. Being a good neighbor. We spend more waking hours with the people we work with than the people we live with. It seems we're always on the go so much of the time these days, and we just don't get involved in our neighborhoods as much as people used to. Well, here's a simple prospecting tip. Take an afternoon and do some warm calling as a neighbor. Try baking some cookies, ring the doorbells of a few neighbors, and introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Tom Stuker. I'm a neighbor. I just wanted to introduce myself. Let you know who I am, where I live, and what I do, because as you know, you can never have too many friends in the neighborhood. Being a good neighbor, continued. You're using a soft sell approach with your neighbors. I happen to be in the automobile business. I help a lot of people with new and used car purchases. I'm sure purchasing a vehicle for you or a family member wasn't the first thing you thought about when you got up this morning. But that's not what I'm here about. Again, you're letting them know what you do, but it's not positioned as the reason for the visit. If a car purchase is something they thought about today, they just might open up to you about it. I just wanted to let you know who I am. I've already helped a couple of other neighbors with their purchases. They like having someone in the neighborhood who can help them when they need service or warranty work. You see, you're downplaying the sales part and emphasizing the helping aspect of being a good neighbor. Listen, if there's anything I can do to be a good neighbor, let me know. If you need to borrow any tools or need a hand with something, just give me a call. Then give them your home phone number, written on the back of your business card. You'll be surprised how many people will keep that card and keep you in mind as someone to contact when it's time to trade. Social prospecting. When you're out at the mall, at a gas station, at a restaurant for dinner, put yourself in the position to develop new business. But putting 2 business cards under a coffee cup in a restaurant is not social prospecting. If you want to get business, you have to ask for it. Put yourself in front of new opportunities. Don't leave them behind you. And good prospecting means the person doesn't feel prospected. So when you're out for dinner, relax. Enjoy your meal. Here's what I like to do. Toward the end of the meal, when the waiter or waitress brings the check, if the food was at least reasonably good, simply say, "That was an excellent entree. I really enjoyed it." After he or she acknowledges the compliment, I then add, "But the only thing better than the food here is the service. And in my business, especially in my business, I really appreciate that." Social prospecting continued. Now, when you say something like that, they're almost always going to ask, "What is your business?" Here's where you want to take it very easy, very non-aggressively. Well, I'm in the business of helping people with the purchase of new or used cars, trucks, and vans. I work down at ABC Motors. I know the last thing you thought about when you woke up this morning was getting some type of vehicle for you or a family member. But who knows? Maybe one of these days it'll happen and I can return the favor of good service to you. Now leave it at that. Let them respond. They will. Your follow-up can be, "So what are you driving these days?" "Oh, that's a nice car. How long have you had it?" Then you can move into, "How many drivers? How many vehicles? Who's next?" "Oh, really? That would be yourself." What I want to get from this point is a name, address, and a phone number. You've got to have that to follow through with people. So when they start saying, "Yeah, it would probably be me," "I'm starting to look," or "I'm thinking about it," then set up an appointment. Social prospecting exercise. Operation KidSafe. Operation KidSafe has safeguarded, educated, and provided over 1 million families with safety for their kids. All of this in just 11 years. The KidSafe system is all digital. At the event, parents take home a bio document, the only record of the visit. That document has the child's digital fingerprints, photo, and an area to update with a color photo in the future. Parents are also provided with safety tips and ideas on starting their own family safety action plan. Mark J. Bott, an ex-auto dealer, started Operation KidSafe after selling his dealership interests in the 1990s. Mark has tailor-made this program for auto dealers. His background complements his experience. Mark's great-grandfather was Hugh Chalmers, Chalmers Motor Company, now Chrysler. Menju Chalmers was a trusted advisor to Teddy Roosevelt. Started the MVP award in Major League Baseball. Your dealership can host a 2-day Operation KidSafe event or open one of the first fingerprint centers for kids right on your showroom floor. Operation KidSafe. It is available to only one dealer per market. It is called the Operation KidSafe Fingerprint Station location. For less than the price of a 10,000-piece mailer, you can have a full-time Operation KidSafe fingerprinting center on your showroom floor. Mark personally visits and kicks off the launch with a huge press conference and media blitz like you have never seen. Operation KidSafe is an established brand for over 11 years. You get to use the KidSafe logo and branding. Several dealers are even wrapping a van with the dealer logo and the Operation KidSafe logo and going out to local events. What a great way to profile your dealership at the biggest local gatherings. If you want to lead the market and be in the community spotlight, be the first one in your market to be the exclusive Operation KidSafe Digital Fingerprinting Center. The Fingerprinting Center is brand new and was actually launched in Canada in September 2012. At this writing, there are 6 stations open in cities like Toronto and Calgary. The U.S. launch started March 1st, 2013. Your dealership can be one of the first in the United States and the only one in your market.